I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities in Music. Today, we're going to review an album that is a little bit outside Tom and I's comfort zone. We'll come out and say it. You guys who are big VIMTV followers know that we are not necessarily the biggest fan of just dance music. So we decided that we're going to take another stab at it. We're going to go after this new album from an artist called Scuba, entitled Personality. Scuba is, what's his name, Tom? Paul Rose. He's Berlin-based, but he's from the UK. And he makes big 80s sounding dance music. That's what he does. We kind of just stumbled upon this through Spotify, and we left Spotify, by the way. And started listening to it, and where I was actually initially impressed, very much so, by the just thick beats, the lush synths, and just the immaculate production. That is kind of part and parcel with this style. This style has been, this just big, gaudy dance music has become really big the past few years. It started in like
especially
the late...
dubstep.
Right,
really
dubstep really took it to the next level, and has made the beats fatter, and that's something I can thank dubstep for. Now, I gotta admit, I don't really like dubstep that much. I think it lacks a lot of things in music that I generally cherish, like songwriting or tact. You know, these are things that I like to think about, and you know, a lot of electronic music doesn't have. So it's always interesting for me when I hear something that does grip me. Now, this was, I think I liked it a little bit more than you, Tom.
Yeah.
And before I just turn you loose on our fans and let you just kind of give your opinions on Personality, I wanted to just come out and say, you know, this I feel like is a pretty solid effort as far as making a thick dance record like this. You know, I would describe this as borderline techno at times. It does a very good job of balancing moods, different moods. You have a little bit more aggressive loudness. And then there's some really light, airy moods, like on the track 5, July. But it's all based off of a sound that has just been done over and over and over again since the 80s. And really when techno hit it big in the 90s, and then continued on till now. I mean, you're talking decades of artists who's already done this. So I mean, you're kind of drawing from, you know, the bottom of the barrel as far as just blatantly copying influences. So, Tom, what was your opinion on Personality? Did you feel that it was unique, or are we? Did you feel that?
No.
Okay.
It really didn't. I mean, I feel like for what he was going for, he did it well. I mean, if you're just setting out to make some fun dance music with some good builds, some good come downs and all that, then yeah, he achieved that. But I feel like, is that really much? Is that really saying much? I just don't think so. And the thing you got to understand is that part of it is just me not caring about the genre. I don't care for music.
For the reasons that I brought up.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it serves a purpose in context. If I was out clubbing, I would love this album. But when I'm sitting at work, when I'm sitting at home, really trying to focus on what I'm listening to, it doesn't really do anything for me. And maybe
functional aspects.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's not supposed to. But at the same time, I have to take part of that responsibility myself. I'll call myself out on it. Because, like I said, I just don't care for this genre. I don't care about it. But at the same time, I have to put part of that responsibility on the artist because they need to make me care about it. I mean, I'm not going to be able to just force myself to care about everything that I listen to. There has to be something really pulling me. There has to be something engaging, and I just don't feel like it's there on this album. I mean, some of the things, yeah, it does have kind of that 80s or even 90s kind of electronica throwback to it. Whenever those female vocals come in, they just make me think of the Cruisin' World song. Yeah. If you ever played that game for N64, that was one of my favorites.
Well, and how many times has that been done before? How many times have you sampled a high female vocal part and you I mean, how many times has that been done? It gets to the point on this album that it's actually kind of annoying, and at the same time it's a completely unoriginal idea. And on top of all of that, it actually takes away from the authenticity of the art. If you're just making music to make sound, to just make random sound, if you're just adding to the noise, then what the hell is the point of what you're doing? Why are you wasting people's time? Why are you if you're not going to try and add value, don't waste anyone's time. But yet, because technology is now so so available, and this kind of music has become increasingly more accessible to make. I won't say easy to make, but accessible to make.
You still have to have skill. You still have to have talent.
Right. But all you need now is a computer. You don't need to go buy a guitar, buy a drum set, buy, you know, all that stuff that you would have had to have done 30 years ago. That made this a lot more unique when it came out. You know, this is a whole different kind of thing right now because it can be made for cheap. And therefore, I have the debate of, are we listening to this kind of music because it's really good music, or is everyone listening to this kind of music because it's really convenient to do it because there's so damn much of it? And so that's something that I've had an internal debate for, but getting back to this record, personality doesn't express enough personality for me to like it. It's not unique enough for me to like it. And what that does is it kind of overrides my just natural opinions. If an album doesn't reach out and grab you, then why the hell are you paying attention to it? If it doesn't move you, then what is the point? And this album, I don't think there's a point to it because it never does that. It never warrants any of the emotional buildups. There's barely any to begin with, but even the chill good moods, you know, those are the only ones that I really appreciate on this album.
Now, there were a few saving moments for me where something would shine through that that I felt made it a little more unique, brought a little more personality to it. But those moments were few and far between, and they also ended up kind of pissing me off in the long run. But one of those spots was in track 2, Underbelly, when the beat's building up and you hear kind of like a ride cymbal. And so I really like that because that's a sound that you don't hear much in this kind of music. You mostly just hear hi-hats. But with that kind of ride cymbal sound, it gave it much more of a full drum set feel to me. And I really like that. But honestly, that stuff isn't on here much. Yeah, exactly. That was me going, come on, Scuba, give me something I can work with here. Give me something that I like, and I was able to dig out some spots.
And there's definitely electronic music out there that can really move you. Listen to Memory Tape's first album. And listen to, in fact, our other cohort, Ian, made recently an electronic album, his first effort. We'll put a link to it down here. Listen to that. Stuff like that actually takes... It relates to you on an emotional level. There's more emphasis on songwriting. There's more emphasis on dynamics. There's more emphasis on mood control. These are things that are very important to electronic music because you don't have that vocalist there applying lyrics and vocal intensities that control the whole intensity of the whole song. It's very important that as electronic artists, you find ways to relate with your listener. And I personally felt like this didn't accomplish it. You know, that being said, there are a lot of really solid dance tracks on here, a lot of really good production that I did like, so I did think I ended up just a little bit higher than you, Tom. Overall, it's a decent record, comes off a little sterile, which is never a good thing. So if you're really into electronic music or looking to what's just some fresh dance, upbeat music, check this out, but otherwise it's probably a pass. But I'm sitting at a 66.
I'm going 60.
You know, low 60s, that's about where this is at. So... a lot of electronic music fans out there. If you guys have any issue with what this is, we invite you to jump on us and talk about it because this is the type of thing that we really kind of feel pretty strongly about right now. And this music's really popular right now. So if you have an opinion, we're not going to look down on you at all, especially if you disagree with us. Just, you know, let's have a conversation about it at www.velocitiesandmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesandmusic. Also, Facebook, Twitter, do it. You know, that's where we do all of our talking with our fans. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.